So our base elevation right now is 10,200. So we've got 2,000 feet of elevation gain to get up to the top. Hey, this is Dan. Welcome back to the channel. We are getting ready to do the 4-pass loop in the Maroon Bells Wilderness. Before we got started, we came up to Aspen to spend the night before starting tomorrow morning. So we are staying at the Difficult campground, which is about 25 minutes away from the trailhead and about 15 minutes from Aspen. And just to have a good night's sleep before we get to the trailhead in the morning. And the reason for that is because we live just outside of Boulder, and that's a long drive to get to the trailhead and get started hiking by 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, which is what our plan is. So if this is something you're interested in, please stick around for the video. So the 4-pass loop is a popular hiking trail. It's about 28 miles long. It covers 4 passes along the kind of loop. You start near Maroon Lake, and we're gonna head clockwise, headed up toward North Fork. We'll come back down by Snowmass Lake and then exit. So the thing that makes this whole process difficult is it is a permit only overnight camping. You have to sign up for that online at recreation.gov, and sometimes the tickets are kind of hard to come by. So we were able to secure the dates that we got. We're going to do it over 2 nights and 3 days. A lot of people take 4 days just because of the elevation climb, especially once you get started. And since we'll be doing 2 peaks, 2 12,000 foot peaks the first day, we're getting started really early, but we'll be camping in the North Fork zone. So we have a nice big 4-person tent that we're car camping out of tonight. We're sitting amongst aspen trees, and the campground's pretty cool. We have our backpacking supplies in the car. So Emily and I both are using Mystery Ranch backpacks and the Bridger series. And we are set up for, like I said, 2 nights and 3 days worth of camping to cover the 28 miles or so. Time of the year, it is, right now it is July 19th. So we've got permits for the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. And we also have parking permits at Maroon Lake parking area, so we can park there and don't have to worry about a shuttle. So our backpacking stuff is very different than just the car camping stuff. Car camping gives us some space and some other things, but backpacking is where it's at. And we'll kind of go through some of those supplies so you can kind of see what we put together to carry with us. Understand that the Maroon Bells Wilderness is a active bear area. We chose to use your sacks instead of bear canisters. Just for their packability, and you don't have that, they get lighter as you pack versus the bear canisters, which you have constant weight minus the food that never goes away. So just some thought processes for us, but all right, we will see you in the morning. All right, good morning. We are at the Maroon Bells parking lot. Again, reservation, recreation.gov, you have to have parking permits for every night, and this is parking lot. So we are going to get started. So we're headed to Maroon Lake first, and then we'll head clockwise. So the goal is to get over both the 2 first passes and camp just on the other side of Frigid Pass tonight. So there's a day use parking lot and an overnight use parking lot. You got to park in the overnight lot. Again, have your permits up in your windshield. All right, coming out of the parking lot, there's a little bucket if you need a hiking pole or a hiking stick. They just ask you to put it back. We're starting at 9,500 feet, and we're headed to Maroon Lake, which is just right outside the parking lot. So right at about 2 miles in, you get to a fork, and that's where the lollipop for this loop starts. And you can either go to West Maroon or you can go to Snowmass. And so we're going left because we're going clockwise. And that takes us by Crater Lake to get us started. So come out of the parking lot and basically you climb up 600 feet. And it's a well-marked rocky trail. And I think the basis of this trail is basically you're either climbing or you're descending the whole time. So if you've got a doggo with you, the rocks can be hard on their feet if they're not used to it. So pretty. I think we're gonna stop here and have a snack. So coming out of Crater Lake, we're following the West Maroon Trail as we head up toward Frigidaire Pass and the North Fork Camping Zone, which is where we're going today. But it's absolutely beautiful. We got some flat area, so we're just over 10,000 feet right now. We just have some flat ground. So we start climbing again. So it's nice, easy going. Trail's in good shape and it's beautiful out. The sky's blue. All right, we just crossed 11,000 feet. Just about 5 miles in, and we're kind of coming out. There's the trail is kind of gradually gained elevation, and we're in tight light green tunnels. So as we're getting above the tree line, all the scrub brush makes little green tunnels. They're about 6 or 7 feet tall. And the trails are kind of tight, and it's been like that for the last couple miles, but sun's out, the weather's beautiful. It's a beautiful hike, and we are well on our way to West Maroon Pass, which is the first pass of the day. Like I said, Emily's got a Mystery Ranch Bridger 45. I have the Bridger 65. She's carrying about 30 pounds in her pack with water and food, and I've got about 45 in mine with water and food. So I had one of the early versions of this Mystery Ranch pack and did about 350 miles with it, and then made the mistake of trying to go a little bit lighter and just wasn't happy with it. So when the new version came out, I jumped at it. It's got this dual breasted carry strap, and while these packs are heavier, they carry so nice, so you don't even really feel the weight. And I found that the ultralight packs, Hyperlight Mountain Gear and a couple others that I tried, to me they just carry the weight terrible. And I'd rather have the extra 2.5 pounds of the pack just to have a comfortable carry experience. More of this, what I call green tunneling, just a path through the scrub brush at elevation. It's so pretty out here. You just gotta come see it for yourself. Oh, just for time stamps, we're about 3 hours in for the 5 miles, and we stopped for a break at Crater Lake and had a couple breaks, and we've been taking lots of pictures. So we've been moving pretty good. So 3 hours to cover 5 miles, and we gained about 1,500 feet of elevation along that 5 miles. So I feel like we're moving pretty good. So you do have 2 stream crossings of Maroon Creek, both of which you can do with your shoes on. There's plenty of rock steps to come across, but just be aware. And if you're worried about water, there's been plenty of water so far, but we like to carry our extra ones anyway. All right, we just crossed 12,000 feet. We're about 400 feet from So West Maroon Pass is right up there where those little rocks are. But it's beautiful. So we're about 6 3/4 miles from the car. All right, so that was West Maroon Pass. 12,460 feet was what my watch said. So I know the topo says something a little bit different. The views coming into this bowl are pretty awesome. We follow a short kind of stretch down, and then we climb right back up to Frigid Pass. And then we'll follow North Fork Creek down until we find a campsite. We're at 7 miles. About 4 hours and 45 minutes from the car to get to the top of West Maroon. All right, as you come on down, you come to a fork in the road. You want to take the North Fork to the right. That takes you up to Frigid Air. The left fork takes you down to Crested Butte, which seems like a lot of day hikers come up Crested Butte out for that. This is the lead up to Frigid Air Pass. It's another 500 feet above us. So coming down from Maroon Pass, it drops pretty quick down to 11,700 feet. And then you kind of get lulled into this nice sense of freedom of nice flat, easygoing terrain. That leads this way, and then we kind of slowly climb up to 12,000 feet, which is where we're at right now, and then everything else is straight up. We've got to go all the way up there before we can descend down and find camp. It's top of Frigid Air Pass, 12,388 feet. Alright, we just came off Frigid Air Pass at 12,388, and we're right at 10 miles, and then those trees off in the distance is where our camp site hopefully will be. It's been a good day. That ascent up Frigid Air Pass from that saddle was quite steep. Alright, we are getting ready to start day 2. We made it about 12.5 miles yesterday. Camped just about halfway through the North Fork camping zone. Found a nice campsite by some water. A little dusty, but worked well. So we're ready to go again this morning, just a little bit after 6. But this was the backdrop last night. So we had a nice creek in the background running, so that was nice. But it was super buggy. Like when we got here, the bugs were so bad. We basically spent most of the afternoon in the tent until the evening time because the bugs were so bad. So once it cooled off, the bugs went away. So it's been pleasant this morning. But goal is to get to Snowmass Lake and just beyond, and kind of see how we feel. It's another 10 miles or so for us to go. So camp last night was at about 11,000 feet, and we'll kind of stay flat until we get to the base of the next pass that we gotta climb. We had about, I think, 3,400 feet of elevation gain yesterday with the 2 passes that we climbed. Today, I think we're only doing 2,200 feet because we're only going to do 1 pass. Although we have talked about shortening the trip to just 1 night and 2 days and knocking the rest of the passes out today. So we'll see how the day goes. Right now, legs feel good and Emily feels good. And after leaving camp about almost a mile, we dropped down about 500 feet. And that's what we're greeted with at the bottom. Pretty cool. About 2 miles in, we come to a stream crossing, and it's about calf height. We took our shoes off, and I think we got a second one that we got to cross, and it's raining. So pack covers on, raincoats on.
It's chilly. Cold plunge for the feet.
I don't know if you can see that, but we're about 3 miles from our campsite. So that'd be about 15 and some change from the car. And we get to kind of a split, and there is a trail to Geneva Lake, and then there's a trail that heads to the right that goes to Trail Rider Pass, which is our next pass. So that goes right up along Snowmass Mountain, and Geneva Lake sits at the base of Snowmass Mountain to the south. So here we go. So our base elevation right now is 10,200. So we've got 2,000 feet of elevation gain to get up to the top. All right, it's raining again, so we've been coming in and out of showers. So that steep climb up from where the Geneva Lake Trail comes is a hard one. It's 1,200 feet, and it's like straight up, and it's no joke. But we do get to come into this nice little valley where there's a lake before heading up the pass right there. That's Trail Rider Pass, about 700 feet up above us. It's pretty. So we're about 4.5 miles in from our camp.
The mountain weather changes all the time. So, like 2 days ago, it said today was just going to be mild rain showers. But people were saying thunder showers on the way up.
All right, we just came off of Trail Rider Pass. It's about 5.5 miles from our campsite. And it took us right at 4 hours to do. That stretch up from Geneva Lake is brutal. And then you can see Snowmass Lake down in the background. As you're coming down to Snowmass Lake, there is a sketchy little rock scramble. Oh, there's a marmot. Hello. Marked by Karens. So just be mindful that you'll have to traverse that coming across.
Okay, what a picnic spot.
All right, we just finished lunch. It's almost 1 o'clock, and we decided to go on and push on to Buckskin Pass and knock the second one out for tonight, and then camp at Crater Lake, and then have an easy walk out in the morning. So our camping, well, our planned camping spot is about a half mile from where we just ate lunch, and I can't camp at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're just making good time. We're a little over 9 miles, and I think we got 4.5 or so left to go. So we're gonna take the time and get up the pass and get back down and have a nice dinner. All right, you climb up out of Snowmass Creek. We're at 11,600 feet. You kind of come into this upland plateau. Absolutely beautiful. We got about 800 feet left to climb, so almost there. And then it's all downhill. Okay, Buckskin Pass. I think, so we're 12 miles from our campsite this morning. And I think we made the right choice to keep going. It's 12,460 feet to the top of this thing, but I think by far this was the easiest one to climb. It had some sweeping switchbacks, that more distance, but just more gradual at the same time. And it's just crazy how each pass is different. This one's green, like all the way to the top. And as Emily just said, they all suck in their own way. All right, well, we decided to just bag everything and head back to the car after coming down from Buckskin Pass. We could hear thunder in the background, and we were seeing rain showers become heavier. And then we didn't have much luck finding a campsite that wasn't full of bugs, and we didn't really want to mess with that again. So today has been a heck of a day. So yesterday we did West Maroon Pass and Frigid Pass, and today we did Trail Rider and Buckskin Pass. So our total ascent has been 8,000 feet over the trip. And yesterday we walked like 12.5 miles. Today we were right at 17. And we're almost back to the car right now. So this loop is super cool. It's challenging. It's beautiful, and highly encourage you all to get on recreation.gov and get some overnight camping permits and come see what the Snowmass Wilderness has to offer here in Colorado. Thanks for watching.